The Dupree family had built their reputation on strength, tradition, and unity. From the outside, their sprawling mansion behind iron gates symbolized stability and generational power. Yet behind those gates, fissures had already begun to form, cracks in the carefully crafted facade that threatened to bring everything crashing down. At the center of it all stood Dani, whose personal choices now risked unraveling the entire dynasty. Dani had always been the wild card in the Dupree lineage. Glamorous, magnetic, and unafraid of attention, she had long lived in the shadows of her more conservative relatives. While her mother, Anita, carefully cultivated influence through philanthropy and her father Vernon commanded respect in the corporate sphere. Dani sought validation elsewhere, through her image, through her relationships, and, most dangerously, through the kind of love that could ruin her. The man in question was Tomas, once a ruthless competitor to the Dupree business empire. His ventures had gone toe-to-toe with Dupree Enterprises in contracts, acquisitions, and political influence. The rivalry had left scars, both financial and personal. The Duprees had made Tomas bleed in boardrooms, shutting him out of key deals. But Tomas was not the kind of man to accept defeat quietly. Beneath his polished exterior was a hunger for revenge, a hunger he had disguised beneath charm, sophistication, and the aura of danger that seemed to pull Dani closer to him with each forbidden encounter. What began as an intoxicating escape for Dani soon became a deadly entanglement. She believed she could control it, keep it in the shadows where no one could see. But secrets have a way of seeping into daylight, and this one had the potential to burn the entire family alive. The Dupree family thrived on perception. Their influence rested not only on financial dominance but also on moral standing within their elite community. Anita had fought tirelessly to position the family as paragons of respectability, leaders, benefactors, untouchable icons. If Dani's involvement with Tomas were exposed, the fallout would not stop at whispered gossip. It would unravel corporate alliances, invite public humiliation, and expose hidden vulnerabilities that enemies had long been waiting to exploit. Tomas himself knew this. That was part of his game. His attraction to Dani was real, but beneath it lurked strategy. Each meeting, each secret rendezvous blurred the lines between passion and manipulation. Tomas whispered promises, but he also extracted information, small details that could weaken the Duprees if wielded properly. Dani, blinded by the thrill of their connection, overlooked the subtle ways Tomas tightened his grip. By the time she realized how deep she had fallen, it was too late. The trap was already closing. The danger intensified when Naomi, Dani's cousin, began to suspect something was off. Naomi had always been sharp, protective of the family's interests. She noticed Dani's sudden absences, the flicker of guilt in her eyes during family meetings, the way her phone lit up with messages she hurriedly concealed. Naomi didn't want to believe Dani could betray them, but the Dupree's survival meant vigilance. Her suspicions deepened when Randy, a longtime friend of the family with his own ambitions, hinted that he had seen Dani in the company of someone who should not be trusted. Randy, ever opportunistic, dangled this information like bait, waiting for the perfect moment to use it. Whether his motives were loyalty to the Duprees or a chance to elevate himself remained unclear. Meanwhile, Anita sensed the storm building, though she could not yet see its source. The matriarch's intuition was legendary. She knew Dani was hiding something, and that knowledge unsettled her. Anita had sacrificed too much to allow her daughter's recklessness to jeopardize everything. The more Dani tried to pull away, the more Tomas reminded her of what they shared. He played on her vulnerabilities, her fear of insignificance, her longing to be seen as more than just the Dupree wild child. He convinced her that their bond was unique, a rebellion against the suffocating weight of family expectations. But Tomas's motives were darker. He had been gathering evidence of their affair, photos, texts, financial traces of their meetings. If Dani betrayed him, he could destroy her with a single move. The scandal would ripple outward, tarnishing her parents, destabilizing Dupree Enterprises, and opening the floodgates for rivals circling like vultures. It was blackmail disguised as devotion, a cage gilded with passion. And Dani, torn between desire and dread, found herself unable to break free. As whispers spread, cracks widened among the Duprees. Naomi grew increasingly restless, torn between loyalty to her cousin and the instinct to protect the family at all costs. Randy hovered like a shadow, threatening to reveal what he knew unless he was granted greater access to the family's inner circle. Even Kat, a close family ally, became ensnared in the fallout. A brutal accident left her vulnerable, and rumors swirled that her misfortune might have been orchestrated by forces aligned with Tomas. Whether true or not, suspicion poisoned the air, fueling paranoia within the household. Every choice Dani made pulled the family deeper into chaos. The Duprees rivals, sensing weakness, circled with predatory anticipation. Business partners began to waver, contracts fell through, and the once unshakable empire trembled. Dani faced an impossible decision: confess the truth and risk annihilating the family's reputation, or continue her dangerous liaison, allowing Tomas to wield his power unchecked. Both paths led to devastation, but in different forms. Her silence became complicit betrayal. Her fear bred recklessness. Each clandestine meeting with Tomas brought her closer to exposure. Each lie to her family dug her deeper into a pit from which escape seemed impossible. The pressure pushed Dani to the brink. Her confidence fractured, her allure dimmed under the weight of guilt. And yet, the magnetic pull of Tomas remained irresistible, even as she realized he might be the architect of her destruction. As autumn fell upon the gated community, the Dupree mansion became a fortress of secrets. Anita pressed harder, Naomi investigated further, Randy sharpened his schemes, and Tomas prepared for his decisive move. The stage was set for revelations that would not only redefine Dani's place in the family but also determine whether the Duprees could withstand the most dangerous scandal of their dynasty. What none of them realized was that the affair was not merely a personal betrayal. It was the opening salvo in a calculated campaign against the entire Dupree legacy. Tomas had no intention of simply winning Dani's heart. He intended to conquer everything the Duprees had built, and he was willing to use Dani as both weapon and shield. By the time the truth emerged, the damage would already be irreversible. Trust would be shattered. Loyalties tested. Bloodlines strained. And Dani would stand at the center, condemned by her choices, yet unwilling to relinquish the only love that had ever made her feel alive. The Dupree Empire had survived rivalries, scandals, and betrayals before. But this was different. This was war born from the most intimate of betrayals. As the gates closed each night, the family believed they were safe within their fortress. But the real danger had already slipped inside, carried in Dani's heart, hidden in Tomas's smile. The storm had arrived. And no one behind those gates would escape untouched.